Hi, it's Greg Hughes from 90-Second Website Builder. I'd like to show you something a little bit different here in this software and talk to you about another way to play your videos. In another video, I talked to you about using HTML5 audio and HTML5 video. They're very simple to use. In this case, we're going to combine our use of this tool with another tool called the Amazon S3 storage service. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. First of all, let me just remind you of how the HTML5 video tool works. Simply draw a box where we want to place our video. You double click on it to open it and get to the properties. Again, it's a video that I'm making, so I would choose that as opposed to audio. And then I would decide the behavior, if I want it to auto start or not, and if I want it to fill the entire browser. All those settings are obvious. Also, if we're going to be using the Lightbox effect, then we would do that here. I covered that in another video, but basically that means if we want to display this in a Lightbox, at the forefront of our page, we would pick some kind of an image that the user would click on and the video would play in a Lightbox. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. That's pretty simple to understand. What I want to talk about in this video is where the video is actually going to be stored. That's very important. Now, a lot of times people are just going to be storing their videos on their hosting account, which is not wrong to do. It's just that videos take up a lot of bandwidth, and sometimes your host has limitations on bandwidth, or sometimes their server's slower than a professional video server would be. And so it's a good idea to understand your options for video storage. Now, in my case, when I play an HTML5 video, I'm almost always using an MP4 video, although you don't have to use MP4, but it is going to be the best choice in most cases. If I was to click this Browse button, 90-Second Website Builder is going to prompt me to locate the video on my computer, and it tells me which ones I can use: AVI, .movie files, MP4s, etc. Now, even though these are available, it doesn't mean these are necessarily the best choices for you. An AVI video is going to be a very, very large file, so you wouldn't use an AVI video, say, for a 10-minute video. That would be maybe for a 15-second video, because an AVI file is going to be very large. A .movie file is basically a file that must be played with QuickTime, so while that's okay to use, your end user has to have QuickTime installed on their computer. MP4 is more universal for HTML5, and I won't go into covering all of these. You can Google these extensions if you want to know more, but MP4 is going to be the best quality. That's usually what people upload to YouTube or Vimeo, and it's a pretty universal format. It's what I use for everything. It would tell me, find the MP4 video on my computer so that I could put it in this container on my 90-Second Website Builder website. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to locate my video on my computer. Instead of browsing for one, I'm actually going to tell 90-Second Website Builder where my video is stored on a different service, a completely different domain. And I use a video storage facility that's provided by Amazon, the same people that sell all the books. Amazon S3 is the name of the service. Now, if you want to Google that, you can just type in Amazon S3 and learn more about it. But basically, Amazon S3 is a very, very inexpensive way to store your videos and have them stream very quickly and very easily. So I'm going to open up my Amazon S3 account and show you what it looks like. I've logged into the console, they call it. And here it shows what they call buckets. I don't know why they call them buckets. They're just, in other words, directories or folders. And I have a number of them. I've been using this for years, and so I have a lot of folders or buckets. And these buckets then contain files, and in my case, I'm storing video files. Here I have a bucket called 90sec10. Now, remember the name of that, because that's going to matter here in a couple of seconds when I show you how this works. So we're going to go inside this bucket. I'm going to click on 90sec10, and you can see I'm now inside this bucket. I've uploaded some videos, all of them MP4s. In this case, I'm going to be working with this particular video, the v10 underscore header tool.mp4. That's what I called this video before I uploaded it. So remember this. This is the name of the file, the video file. This is the name of the bucket that it is inside of. That's going to matter. Let me show you why. I'm going to close this Amazon service and go back to 90-Second Website Builder, where I need to tell 90-Second where my video is. And I do that by giving it the actual URL. Now, I've got one that's already done, so I'm going to cancel out of here, close this, and let's scroll to the top of this page, because here I've actually put one in here. In fact, it's a very, very large video. You can see how big the box is. Let me move the camera down a little bit so you can see the whole thing. This is the video right here. It's very large. It's a nice big HD video. When I double click on this and look at these settings, I told 90-Second Website Builder where my video is on the S3 service. Now here's the syntax that we have to use. It begins with http:// because it's a web address. The next section right here is the name of the bucket that this video is stored in, 90sec10 if you'll remember, separated by a dot, and then the name of the website. It's s3.amazonaws.com. That will stay the same for all of my videos. That's the name of the service and the name of the domain that I'm storing them on. So it's the bucket.s3.amazonaws.com followed by a / and then the name of my file. Remember, mine was v10_headertool.mp4. Now, if all of that sounds confusing, it shouldn't be, because it's just basically broken up into those categories. As long as you remember your bucket name, and you chose the name of that anyway in your S3 account, and the file name, another decision you made when you saved the file, then you should be fine. That in-between part, s3.amazonaws.com, always stays the same. So here I'm simply telling 90-Second Website Builder where this video is stored. I did not click the browse button because I'm not locally uploading a video. I'm storing it on a third party at Amazon. So all I had to do was type in this full address. That's all there is to it. I can still set my controls. I can still use the Lightbox if I want to. But either way, I click OK and it's done. Now I'm going to preview this for you. Let me move the camera up. I'm going to click F5. We're going to look at this web page in preview mode. And you can see there's my video. It's very big, so I'm going to move this over because this is one of the videos in the members area for 90-Second Website Builder. And the user can press play. I want to show you how to work with the new page header tool. And they can pause it right here. So you can't really see the whole thing because it's, let me move the camera. Here we go. So you can see it. These are what the controls look like. So why would I use S3? There's several reasons. One, I'm using HTML5, which is better and smoother, loads quickly. I'm using an MP4 format because that's just a more universal, high definition style of video. You can see I can play a very large video. It streams quickly. The storage facility is reliable because it's owned by Amazon, and it's very, very inexpensive. I can't tell you exactly how much it costs for bandwidth, but it's fractions of pennies for certain amounts of bandwidth. So go ahead and Google that and find out how that works, but it's well worth it if you're going to be playing any videos on your website. It could cost you, even if you have several videos, it may cost just a couple dollars a month, frankly. This is how I do it. I store my videos at Amazon because it's reliable. And the other thing is, as opposed to a YouTube video, you'll notice that this player is very clean. There's no YouTube logo. There's no other kind of intrusive controls or images that pop up. And I like the fact that this is very streamlined. I can even hide these controls if I wanted to and have nothing come up, and it would just play video. But I like people to be able to at least play and pause, and so they can do that here. That's the reason I do that, because it makes a very clean playing video, easy, fast, easy to stream, and looks good on the website. So that's how you do that. If that sounds complicated, it might be the first time, but it really isn't once you understand what you're doing here is just telling 90-Second Website Builder where your video is stored. If you want to learn more about Amazon's S3, then you can go to Amazon.com or just Google Amazon S3 and you'll see all kinds of information of how to get started setting up an S3 account. And then you'll be able to store your videos or frankly any other files. They don't have to be videos. You can use S3 to store your zip files or any of your PDFs, downloads of your ebooks can all be stored on the Amazon S3 service. 90-Second Website Builder works great with it because it's just a matter of telling the software where your file is stored, in this case a video, and it works really, really good for putting videos, especially HTML5 videos, on your website in 90-Second Website Builder.